Sugar industries. So sugar industry is what kind of industry? Like sugar industries can be seen located near to the sugar producing areas. Right? Why? Because they are weight losing industries. They are weight losing industries. There is one chapter in the economic geography book of NCRT, right? One chapter which is about industries and their locations. Right? So all these terms are important. So sugar industry is a weight losing industry. So for all the weight losing industries, it's better to locate the industries nearby to the raw material areas, right? Nearby to the areas where we have raw materials, it is recommended for the weight losing industries to be located there. Similarly, steel plant also. Steel plant requires coal, iron and other raw materials, right? It is also a weight losing industry. For making 1 kg of steel, approximately we require 10 kgs mixture of coal, iron and all other raw materials. So that is also a weight losing industry. So that is why even for steel plants, they are located near the raw material areas, right? So that's why sugar mills are also located close to the sugarcane producing regions of India, because they are weight losing industries, right? Please revise this. And the second thing is, India is the second largest sugar producer in the world. India is the second largest sugarcane producer in the world and also sugar producer in the world. India is the second largest sugarcane and cane sugar producer in the world. Now, who is the leading? It is Brazil. Brazil is the leading producer of sugar in the world. So these points we have to know, because sugar cane farmers were facing issues. Sugar mill owners were also facing issues in India because of excessive sugar production. Last year we had excessive sugar production. That was an issue. So that's why we have to know this. We have discussed few terms related to sugarcane previously also. FRP, fair and remunerative price, right? FRP is declared for sugarcane. Who buys the sugarcane from the farmers at FRP? It is not the government, it is the sugar mill owners. Sugar mill owners will be buying the sugarcane from the farmers at FRP. Who approves the FRP? CCEA, Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, that approves the FRP. Who recommends the FRP or the MSP? It is CACP, Commission on Agricultural Costs and Prices. So all this information is related to sugarcane. Also find the leading producer state in India for the sugarcane, right? Try to remember that also. So this is about sugarcane, guys. Now the second topic is, in environment we can see questions where they will be asking national parks and the rivers flowing through them, or national parks and the states in which they are located, right? These kind of questions we can see. So one easy way to know this is through maps. Please refer the map, right? There is a map about all the national parks and wildlife sanctuaries and the biosphere reserves, right? If you just see that map once in a day, if you see like that every day, easily you can remember the national parks. Another smart way is to list down all the national parks and wildlife sanctuaries that were in the news, that were in the last 1 year news. So in this way you can do. So two such sanctuaries we have discussed before, right? One is in Assam, the other one is in Arunachal Pradesh. They were in the news because some projects were being taken up there. Some projects were being taken up there, right? So one is Pakwe Wildlife Sanctuary in Arunachal Pradesh. And the other one, because of oil gas leak in Assam, right? Another wildlife sanctuary we have discussed, Dibru Saikova Wildlife Sanctuary, right? So that was in news because of the oil leak in the Assam. So in this way, we have to note down all the important sanctuaries that were in the news. Now we'll try to deal with 4 national parks. First one is Orang National Park. Orang, O-R-A-N-G. Orang National Park. We can see at least one question about national parks. In 2019 prelims also, there was a question about national parks, right? They have given features of a national park and asked us to identify one. If you remember that question, right? They have said there is one national park in India which has the features of both tropical, temperate and alpine. All these 3 can be seen. Which is that national park? It is Valley of Flowers National Park, that is located in Uttarakhand. This was last year 2019 prelims question, right? So Orang National Park, where is this located? This Orang National Park is located in Assam. Orang National Park is located in Assam. This is also known as Mini Kaziranga. This is also known as Mini Kaziranga. Mini Kaziranga. And which is the river that flows through it? Brahmaputra river flows through it. Brahmaputra river flows through it. So this is the first national park which we have to know. The second one is Panna National Park. Panna, P-A-N-N-A. Where is this located? This is located in Madhya Pradesh. Panna National Park is located in Madhya Pradesh. Why this is important for this year? Because a river interlinking project is being planned. Ken-Betwa river interlinking project. You might have heard about this. Because of the Ken-Betwa river interlinking project, some of the area of this Panna National Park is getting submerged. That is why this national park was in the news. So this Panna National Park, what is the river that flows through it? Ken River flows through this Panna National Park. Ken River. This Panna National Park is also a tiger reserve. And this was in the news because of Ken-Betwa interlinking project. And Panna National Park is located in Madhya Pradesh. Panna National Park is located in Madhya Pradesh. Similarly, we have another tiger reserve that is shared by two states. Pench Tiger Reserve, P-E-N-C-H, Pench. So this Pench Tiger Reserve is shared between Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh. Bandipur, where is Bandipur located? Karnataka, right? Nagarhole National Park, where is that located? Karnataka, right? So in this way, we need to know in which states they are located. Next national park is Jim Corbett National Park. Jim Corbett National Park. Now this Jim Corbett National Park is located in Uttarakhand. This is located in Uttarakhand, and this is the oldest national park of India. So the oldest national park of India is Jim Corbett National Park. This is located in Gharwal district in Uttarakhand. Gharwal district of Uttarakhand. And which is the river that flows through this Jim Corbett? It is Ramganga. It is Ramganga river. I have already asked in 2017 prelims paper about this Jim Corbett National Park. They have said Ganga river flows through Jim Corbett National Park, which is wrong. Not Ganga river. Ramganga river flows through Jim Corbett National Park. They have tried to confuse us, right? So Ramganga river flows through Jim Corbett National Park. And the other national park is Jaldapara National Park. Jaldapara. Jaldapara. Jaldapara National Park. Right? This Jaldapara National Park is located in West Bengal. And which is the river that flows through this Jaldapara? Torsa River. T-O-R-S-A. Torsa River. Torsa River flows through this Jaldapara National Park. Right? So in this way, try to know as many national parks and wildlife sanctuaries as possible. Right? Also tiger reserves and also biosphere reserves. So what is the biosphere reserve, which is a mixed UNESCO World Heritage Site? Right? 2 years back, it was given the status of mixed UNESCO World Heritage Site, a biosphere reserve in India. Kanchenjunga, right? Just find out where it is located. Kanchenjunga, right? Mixed UNESCO World Heritage Site it is, right? So in this way, you need to do some work, guys. Collect as many national parks as possible. And the next topic is shifting cultivation, right? What is shifting cultivation? Everyone knows it, right? Shifting cultivation is nothing but tribals usually do this practice, right? They pick up a patch of land, do agriculture there. After agriculture, they'll burn the crop, right? And they'll leave that place and select another land. And they'll do the same thing in that also. So this is called shifting cultivation. They'll be using a particular land only for some time. And then they will leave that land and go to the new land, so that old land will get some time to rejuvenate itself, right? So this is shifting cultivation. This is mostly seen in the tropical regions. This is mostly seen in the tropical regions, right? And this is extensively followed in Northeast India. In India, we can see this in Northeast India, right? Also, we can see this in Africa. We can see this in Central America, South America, and also Southeast Asia. These are the different regions, guys. Central America, South America, right? Northeast India, Southeast Asia, and Africa. We can see in these regions still shifting cultivation is taking place. And regarding shifting cultivation, we need to know some names, at least some names, right? The shifting cultivation is called by different names by different tribals, right? So in India, it is known as Jumming in the northeast part, right? Jumming, J-H-U-M-I-N-G, Jumming. So it's known as Jumming in the northeast India. It is known as Milpa, M-I-L-P-A, Milpa in Central America and South America. It is known as Milpa, M-I-L-P-A, Milpa in Central America and South America. And it is known as Ladang, L-A-D-A-N-G, Ladang, Ladang in Indonesia and Malaysia. That is in the Southeast Asia part, right? So it is known as Jumming in Northeast India. It is known as Milpa in Central America and Mexico. And it is known as Ladang, L-A-D-A-N-G, Ladang in Indonesia and Malaysia, right? In this way, also there are some more names for shifting cultivation in different parts of the world, right? It's practiced in Australia also. There also we have a name for this. Please try to find those names, guys, right? It is useful for us. And another important scheme, a PPP scheme, a public-private partnership scheme, is National Educational Alliance for Technology, right? National Educational Alliance for Technology. This scheme in short form is called as NEET scheme, N-E-A-T, NEET scheme. So NEET scheme full form is National Educational Alliance for Technology. Now, what is the objective of this scheme? Objective of the scheme is to use technology to improve the learning outcomes in higher education. Using technology to improve the learning outcomes in higher education. That is one of the major flaw in Indian education system, right? Learning outcomes are not proper in the higher education system, because of which skill demand mismatch is taking place and unemployment is more in India. So to bridge that problem, the Ministry of Human Resource Development, MHRD has brought this scheme called NEET scheme, National Educational Alliance for Technology. One of the feature of this scheme is to use artificial intelligence as much as possible to make learning more personalized and customized, right? Using artificial intelligence as much as possible to make learning more personalized and customized. So this is the objective. And implementing agency is AICTE, All India Council for Technical Education. AICTE is the implementing agency. So this is about National Educational Alliance for Technology, right? NEET scheme, MHRD initiative, improving the learning outcomes by using technology, right? And using artificial intelligence is one of the feature of this scheme. This is a PPP model, public-private partnership model scheme, and AICTE, All India Council for Technical Education, is the implementing agency for this scheme. Similarly, we have another scheme called NKN, National Knowledge Network. You might have studied about this scheme also, right? We'll try to revise about this scheme. National Knowledge Network. What is National Knowledge Network? To connect all the universities in the country, right? National Knowledge Network, the name itself says it, right? It is for connecting all the universities in the country. National Knowledge Network, right? Establishing a strong and robust Indian network of educational institutions, even using digital technology also, right? Using digital technology also, connecting all the higher educational institutions. That is the objective of National Knowledge Network. And the next topic is Geochemical Baseline Atlas of India. Geochemical Baseline Atlas of India. What is this Geochemical Baseline Atlas of India? Right, this is a current affairs topic, guys. So this Geochemical Baseline Atlas tries to measure the distribution of soil pollution, water pollution, land pollution, right, in the different parts of India. Right? That is the objective of Geochemical Baseline Atlas of India, right? For example, take an example like cadmium, right? Cadmium, if it is polluting the water, it is dangerous for human health. It is water pollution. So this Geochemical Baseline Atlas tries to measure the levels of cadmium throughout the country of India, right? Tries to make a map so that to identify where pollution is more concentrated, where more chemicals are concentrated. This is Geochemical Atlas of India, right? and this is launched by or developed by an institute called CSIR, Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, National Geophysical Research Institute. CSIR, National Geophysical Research Institute. CSIR, National Geophysical Research Institute. This was the institute that developed this geochemical baseline atlas of India. This is for assessing the chemical composition on the Earth's surface. On the Earth's surface. So this is one current affairs topic, guys, because they might confuse us by saying it is made by Geological Survey of India. No, Geological Survey of India means maps, and earthquake zoning is done by Geological Survey of India. There is another body called Geological Survey of India, which works under Ministry of Mines. What it does is earthquake zoning, right? It zones the entire area of India according to earthquakes, zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, right? And this National Geophysical Research Institute does geochemical baseline atlas. This is a current affairs topic. And the next topic is atmospheric aerosols. In environment, you might have studied about atmospheric aerosols, right? Atmospheric aerosols, what are they? They are nothing but small particles. They are small particles that are suspended in the atmosphere. They can be anything. They can be anything, right? They can be PM 2.5, they can be PM 10, right? They can be other particles that are released by various activities, right? So atmospheric aerosols means they are small particles suspended in the atmosphere. Now, why are they important for us is they impact global warming, right? Atmospheric aerosols impact global warming. How do they impact? First thing is they'll try to disturb the heat distribution of the earth, right? They'll try to disturb the heat distribution of the earth. That is how they'll try to cause global warming. The second thing is these atmospheric aerosols also lead to ozone depletion in the stratosphere. These atmospheric aerosols also lead to ozone depletion in the stratosphere, right? Ozone depletion because atmospheric aerosols are required for cloud formation, right? Our clouds form, water gets evaporated, it takes particles along with it, and that's how clouds form. So polar stratospheric clouds, you might have heard about this term, polar stratospheric clouds. What are these polar stratospheric clouds? These clouds are responsible for ozone depletion. We can see these clouds formed at the polar regions, right? Try to get more information about polar stratospheric clouds, right? So these atmospheric aerosols are responsible for the formation of polar stratospheric clouds, which in turn will damage the ozone layer in the stratosphere. That is also how these will affect the global warming, right? And also these atmospheric aerosols also cause haze, H-A-Z-E. They cause haze. What is haze? Haze is nothing but poor visibility, right? Poor visibility. So these aerosol particles will be forming a layer in the lower levels of Earth, which causes haze. Haze means poor visibility. Visibility will be reduced. So all these are effects of atmospheric aerosols, guys, right? And aerosols are also responsible for cloud formation. That also affects the heat distribution of the Earth. If more clouds are formed, they will absorb more heat and they will not allow the heat to escape from Earth's surface. That also increases global warming. So in different ways, atmospheric aerosols try to increase the global warming, right? And the next topic is smog. This is also an environment topic, smog. What is smog? Smog is nothing but smoke plus fog, right? Smoke plus fog. Now, why is fog formed? Fog is formed because of temperature inversion, right? I hope this is covered for you in geography, right? What is temperature inversion? Usually as we go to the above levels of atmosphere, temperature will decrease, right? As we go up and up, the temperature should decrease. This is nothing but the normal lapse rate, right? As we go up and up, the temperature of the air should decrease. This is the normal trend. But what happens in temperature inversion? Temperature rises as we go from lower parts of the atmosphere to upper part, right? Temperature increases because cold air gets stagnated near the Earth's surface. This is called temperature inversion. However, the thing here we have to know is there are two types of smog. There are two types of smog. One is classical smog and the second one is photochemical smog. One is classical smog and the second one is photochemical smog. What is classical smog? Classical smog is the smog which we have discussed just now. Temperature inversion happens, the Earth's surface becomes very cool, because of which the air near to the Earth's surface also will become cool, right? Fog will be formed and smoke particles released will combine with this fog and form the smog. This is the classical smog, right? Now this classical smog to happen, what we require? Cool nights are required. Cool temperature is required. Moist temperature is required, right? Now other smog is photochemical smog. Photochemical smog. What is photochemical smog? That is completely different phenomenon. That has nothing to do with what is this temperature inversion, right? That is nowhere related to temperature inversion. Now that happens when the oxides of nitrogen in the presence of sunlight mix with other oxides to form ozone, right? In the photochemical smog, as the name itself suggests, in the presence of sunlight, in the presence of sunlight, the nitrogen oxides and the other oxides, they combine, a chemical reaction takes place and ozone is formed. This is called photochemical smog. This happens in dry and non-moist conditions, right? Hot and dry conditions. So photochemical smog happens in hot and dry conditions, whereas classical smog happens in cool and humid conditions, right? This is the fine difference, guys. So smog, all the smogs are not the same, right? Classical smog is different, photochemical smog is different. What happens in classical smog? The smoke that is released will react or will combine with the fog that was happened because of temperature inversion, because of cooling effect. That is classical smog. Photochemical smog is oxides of nitrogen reacting with other compounds in the presence of sunlight to make ozone. This is photochemical smog. And another difference between these two smogs is classical smog is reducing smog. Classical smog is reducing smog. Photochemical smog is oxidizing smog. Photochemical smog is oxidizing smog, right? Because of the time constraint, we cannot deal this in detail, right? For further details, please refer net, guys. You have abundant information there, right? But for prelims, this much information is enough, right? Classical smog, cool and humid. Photochemical smog, hot and dry. Classical smog, reducing smog. Photochemical smog, oxidizing smog. And how it happens, that we know, then it is easy for prelims, and that much is enough for prelims. Next topic is kayals, K-A-Y-A-L-S, kayals. Kayals. What are these kayals? Kayals are nothing but backwaters in Kerala. Kayals are nothing but backwaters in Kerala, right? Alipi is known for these kayals. We have backwaters there in Kerala, right? Boating happens, tourism happens there, right? I guess you might have seen many pictures of Kerala, right? This is something which is projected very much in Kerala as a tourism activity. These are kayals, these are backwaters, right? This is related to geography question, right? Kayals. And these are important because every year we see boat races happening here. Boat races. There is one boat race called Vallamkalli, Nehru Vallamkalli boat race that happens every year in Kerala, right? Vallamkalli boat race. So kayals are famous, or kayals are known in Kerala as the backwaters, right? Because they can give questions like kayals, they are related to, it's a fertile spot in a desert, right? Those kind of questions can be given, right? So kayal is nothing but backwater in Kerala. And the next topic is Kittur Utsav. Kittur Utsav, K-I-T-T-U-R, Kittur Utsav. Why is this important? Because this year Kittur Utsav was celebrated. Now, why is Kittur Utsav very much important? Because one of the important rebellion that took place before First War of Independence is Kittur Revolt by Rani Channamma. Kittur Revolt by Rani Channamma, right? You might have studied this in modern India. Kittur revolt by Rani Channamma. Right? This is also one of the important rebellion that took place before First War of Independence. Right? Before First War of Independence, that is before 1857, we have many revolts. So this is one such revolt. This is Rani Channamma's Kittur revolt. We have also discussed another important revolt called Velutampi revolt. Few days back we have discussed about Velutampi revolt. That is also an important revolt that took place before First War of Independence. Right? Before First War of Independence. And in the last year mains also we can see there was a straightforward question saying discuss all those revolts that happened before First War of Independence. Straightforward question in mains. Right? Direct question, a factual question. So we need to be thorough with this. So what is this Kittur revolt? To say it simply, Rani Channamma was the queen of that area called Kittur. But however, her son has died. Because her son has died, she has selected another person called Shivalingappa as the next heir. Right? The next heir to the throne. But what happened is British did not accept this. Britishers did not accept this, because of which this revolt has happened. Right? Kittur revolt. This happened in the year 1824. And the Britishers have crushed this revolt finally. The Britishers have crushed this revolt. But for her bravery, Kittur Utsav was celebrated recently. Recently, Kittur Utsav was celebrated. So that's why this is important, guys, right? Rani Channamma, Kittur revolt, 1824, one of the important revolt that happened before First War of Independence. Right? This we have to know. And the next program we are going to discuss is Jal Abhaya Aranya program. Jal Abhaya Aranya program. Now we all know what is Jal Shakti mission, right? Jal Shakti mission, Jal Jeevan mission. What is Jal Shakti mission? Water conservation by the Ministry of Jal Shakti. Jal Jeevan mission, to produce or to provide functional tap household connections for the rural areas by 2024. We have discussed this also, right? Please revise all those, guys. They are important schemes. And now this is Jal Abhaya Aranya program. Right? Jal Abhaya Aranya program. What is this about? This is about rejuvenating the springs of Indian Himalayas. In Indian Himalayan states, we have springs, right? Springs. What are these springs? These springs are sources of water for Himalayan states. Just like how we have lakes, rivers, right? Ponds. Himalayan states have springs, S-P-R-I-N-G-S, springs. These springs are an important source of water for the Himalayan states. So what the government of India is trying to do is trying to bring this Jal Abhaya Aranya program for rejuvenating all the springs in the Indian Himalayan states, right? For rejuvenating all the springs in the Indian Himalayan states. So this is about the scheme, guys, right? And the next topic is about geography, the direction of winds. What are the different forces that are responsible for the trade winds which we see, right? The westerlies, the northeast trade winds, southwest trade winds, right? Polar easterlies. How does all these winds happen is there are some basic forces behind them. Those we have to know, right? As a part of geography, we are revising this, guys. First one is pressure gradient force. Pressure gradient force. I suppose these are already covered in geography, right? We'll just brush them up so that we are thorough with them. First is pressure gradient force. Pressure gradient force. The second one is frictional force. Frictional force. Third one is Coriolis force. Coriolis force. The fourth one is gravitational force. These are the four forces that act on the winds, because of which we have specific directions for the winds, right? So the trade winds and the westerlies which we discussed, they are resultant of all these four forces. All these four forces, right? And at the lower levels of the atmosphere, right? That is the wind that is nearby to the earth's surface, there we have more frictional force. As we go up, frictional force reduces, right? This is obvious thing. This is obvious thing, right? So at the levels nearby to the earth's surface, we have frictional force more. As we go up, frictional force reduces. And what is Coriolis force? That is a very important term, right? There can be a direct question on that also. So Coriolis force is the resultant of rotation of Earth about its axis, right? Because the Earth is rotating about its axis, a force acts on the wind. That is this Coriolis force, right? I suppose this was covered, guys, for you in geography, right? Yeah. So Coriolis force, this is another force that affects the winds. So this Coriolis force is important because this plays a major role in deciding the direction of the winds, right? Coriolis force. So this Coriolis force is the resultant of rotation of Earth about its axis, right? That is the first point. That is the first point. Second point, it deflects the wind and decides the direction of the wind. That is the second point. Third point, Coriolis force varies from latitude to latitude. The Coriolis force varies from latitude to latitude. At the equator, Coriolis force is 0. At the equator, Coriolis force is 0 and it increases as we move towards the poles. Right? The Coriolis force is 0 at the equator and it increases as we move towards the poles. And the Coriolis force is a very important condition for occurring of cyclones. Right? When we were discussing about tropical cyclones, we have discussed this. What is the important feature that is required? Condition, Coriolis force should be present. Only when Coriolis force is present, we will be having tropical cyclones. We will be having tropical cyclones. So this is about these different forces, guys. And also please revise the entire map of different winds, right? From which latitude to which latitude we have winds. What kind of winds? What are the different names of the cells, right? We have Ferri cell, we have Adler cell, Ferrel cell, right? Just revise all those, guys, in geography. And the next thing is Uyghurs. Who are Uyghurs? Uyghurs are ethnic communities in China, right? This we have to know. Uyghurs are ethnic communities in China. Who are Rohingyas? They are ethnic minorities in Myanmar. Rohingyas are ethnic minorities in Myanmar. Who are Hajongs? H-A-J-O-N-G. Hajongs. Hajongs are minorities in Northeast India. They are tribals in Northeast India and Bangladesh. Hajongs are H-A-J-O-N-G. They are scheduled tribes in India and also tribals in Bangladesh. Hajongs, H-A-J-O-N-G. Right? So Uyghurs are in China, Rohingyas are in Myanmar, and Hajongs are in Bangladesh and India. Right? These can also be some questions. And the next question, the next topic is denudation. Denudation. What is denudation? You might have studied this in geography. So denudation is nothing but erosion or removal of particles from a rock. Right? Simply saying, denudation means take a landmass like mountain. Right? Now breaking that mountain into small parts. That is nothing but denudation. This denudation can take place through various ways. First one is weathering. Weathering, W-E-A-T-H-E-R-A-N-G, weathering. Right? This is one process how denudation can take place. Second thing is erosion. Erosion. Through erosion also denudation can take place. Third thing is transportation. Transportation. Through transportation also denudation can take place. Now what is weathering? Weathering means disintegration of rocks into smaller parts. And weathering can take place through three ways. What are those, guys? Is there in 11th class NCERT geography, right? Chemical weathering, physical weathering, biological weathering, right? Chemical weathering, physical weathering, biological weathering. Connect this to exfoliation also. Exfoliation, that is also a phenomenon we see in weathering, right? What is erosion? Running water, breaking the rock into smaller fragments. That is erosion. So erosion is done not only by running water, but also by running glaciers. Erosion is also done by running glaciers also. We have glacial erosion also. All this is there in 11th class NCERT book, guys. Please refer them, right? We are getting questions from there in every prelims. So that is very important area, right? So these are different ways how denudation can take place. So denudation means removing parts from a rock or from a landmass. That can happen through different ways. Transportation is one way, erosion is one way, weathering is one way. Right? This is about denudation. Right? And the next current affairs topic is a substance called ambergris, 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 ambergris. What is this ambergris? No, this is a solid substance, a waxy solid substance. That is first thing, it's a property of this chemical, it's a waxy solid substance. And it was recently found in Tamil Nadu. It was recently found in Kaddalur beach in Tamil Nadu. So they have found this chemical for the first time at Kaddalur beach in Tamil Nadu. Now what is this substance? This substance is usually used for making perfumes. This substance is usually used for making perfumes. However, this was first time seen in India at the Kaddalur beach in Tamil Nadu. This is used for making perfumes. Now what is this actually? This is actually a product that is vomited by whales. Right? This is a product that is vomited by whales. Right? So the vomit of the whales, we are trying to make perfumes out of it. Right? So this is the meaning for ambergris, ambergris, ambergris. Right? So this was first time seen in India in a place called Kaddalur beach in Tamil Nadu recently. This is used in the Asia for medicinal purposes, and this is also used in the Western countries for perfume purpose. Right? We have found this at Kaddalur beach in Tamil Nadu. Ambergris. Similarly, we have seen something at the shores called plastic crust. We have discussed about this plastic crust. Right? That is nothing but a thin layer of plastic that got fused with the rocks at the shore, rocks at the beach. Plastic crust, we have discussed this. Please revise that, guys. And we'll try to revise southwest monsoon also, right, in brief. Now southwest monsoon for India, that is the major source of rainfall for India, right? Southwest monsoon. Apart from this, we have northeast monsoon and also western cyclonic disturbances that come from Mediterranean Sea. These are some important sources of rainfall and cyclones, right? So southwest monsoon, northeast monsoon, western cyclonic disturbances and cyclones. These are different ways how we get rainfall in India. Now southwest monsoon is the major source of rainfall for India, right? If there is surplus of monsoon that year, then agriculture will be having a bumper crop in India, right? So southwest monsoon has two types of branches. If you remember, if you have studied this, right, try to recollect this, guys. Southwest monsoon has two branches, Arabian Sea branch and Bay of Bengal branch, right? These monsoon winds are nothing but the winds that are coming from Indian Ocean towards the India. As these winds are coming, they will be picking up moisture from the ocean. And as these winds, they pick up moisture from the ocean and come towards India, they give rainfall to India. They give rainfall to India. This is how monsoon comes to India. Now, these monsoon winds which are coming, they are broadly divided into Arabian Sea branch and Bay of Bengal branch. Right? Arabian Sea branch and Bay of Bengal branch. Arabian Sea branch goes in the Arabian Sea side. Bay of Bengal branch will be covering the Bay of Bengal side states and northeast states. Right? So, monsoon winds can be broadly divided into Arabian Sea branch and Bay of Bengal branch. Now this Arabian Sea branch also divides into three. One branch of winds will go to Kerala, the Western Ghats, right? One branch of winds will go to the Western Ghats, which are located in Karnataka and Kerala, and they will give rainfall there, completely rainfall there, right? The other branch goes north of Mumbai. It goes north of Mumbai and it reaches Chota Nagpur plateau. It goes through north of Mumbai, it covers central India and it covers Chota Nagpur plateau also. Please try to imagine Indian map, guys. It will be easy for you, or keep an atlas in front of you, or please refer 11th standard NCERT book. This is there in that, right? 12th, yeah. So in 12th class NCERT book, you will be having this, right? Monsoon winds, Indian geography book. So second branch goes via north of Mumbai to central India and Chota Nagpur Plateau. This is one branch of Arabian Sea. Other branch goes through the Aravallis. It goes parallel to the Aravallis. Right? Aravallis are located in Gujarat and Rajasthan. So it flows via Aravallis. It touches Gujarat, Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana. All these states are touched by the third branch of Arabian Sea. And it is at the Punjab, Haryana region where Bay of Bengal branch and Arabian Sea branch converge. Right? It is the Punjab, Haryana region where Bay of Bengal branch and Arabian Sea branch converge. They both converge. Right? So this is about Arabian Sea branch. Now we'll try to discuss Bay of Bengal branch. Bay of Bengal branch, it does not give rainfall to one state. What is that state? Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu does not receive rainfall because of southwest monsoon. Tamil Nadu receives rainfall because of northeast monsoon or retreating monsoons. Right? That's why Tamil Nadu gets floods during winter. Tamil Nadu gets floods during winter. Why? Because it is at that time we have retreating monsoon or the northeast monsoon. During the northeast monsoon, it is Tamil Nadu which receives maximum rainfall. But during the southwest monsoon, Tamil Nadu does not receive rainfall. Why? Because it is on the rain shadow region. It is on the rain shadow region, and also the Bay of Bengal branch is parallel. It is parallel to the Tamil Nadu state. Right? All these points are there in the NCERT, guys. Please revise it. Right? I am just briefing this up so that you can recollect. Right? So these are the three different Arabian Sea branches and the Bay of Bengal branches. Right? And another trend in Bay of Bengal branch is Bay of Bengal branch covers some parts of Andhra Pradesh, right? Bengal, it covers the northeast, and from the northeast, it goes via Bihar, UP to the Punjab and Haryana, right? That is the way how the Bay of Bengal branch goes. And the moisture level reduces as the Bay of Bengal branch moves from northeast to western part of India, right? The moisture levels in the winds, they decrease as the winds move from northeast to western part of India, because as they are raining continuously, they are losing moisture. They are losing moisture. Now, another important term in monsoons or southwest monsoons is break in the monsoons. Break of monsoons. What is this break? Break is nothing but for some days we'll see there is no rainfall during the monsoon time, right? So those parts where we don't see rainfall for few days, that is called break of monsoons. Now, why does break of monsoons happen? Break of monsoon happens because of cyclones, because of the low pressure systems that are created in Bay of Bengal, right? Because of the low pressure systems that are created in Bay of Bengal and also in the Arabian Sea, southwest monsoon is impacted. Southwest monsoon is impacted. It is stopped for some days. This is called break of monsoons, right? Break of monsoons, right? And another term is burst of monsoons. Burst of monsoons. Find about that, guys. Break of monsoon, burst of monsoon, right? ITCZ is one thing which you should know. ITCZ, intertropical convergence zone, right? Where ITCZ is, that affects the monsoons, right? ITCZ is important, right? Coriolis force is important. Southwest monsoon winds is important. Bay of Bengal branch, Arabian Sea branch, and also find whether we had surplus or deficit this year. Whether we had surplus monsoon or deficit monsoon this year, right? That can also be a question. That can also be a question. And another important term regarding monsoons is LPA, long period average. Long period average. Just find out what is this long period average also. LPA, long period average. So these are all the terms which are important with respect to southwest monsoon, right? We have revised them. And the next topic is Cartosat 3 satellite. Cartosat 3 satellite. Cartosat 3 satellite. What is this satellite? This satellite is Earth observation satellite launched by ISRO. This is an Earth observation satellite launched by ISRO. Cartography means maps making. So Cartosat is nothing but a mapping satellite. It's an imaging satellite of India launched by ISRO. Right, so this is Cartosat 3. Try to get further details about Cartosat 3, right? Because this was recently launched, guys. That's why we need to know about them. And the next topic is point sources and non-point sources in pollution. Point sources and non-point sources in pollution. Now, what are point sources and non-point sources? To give you an example, point sources are all those sources which we can easily identify the source. Right? We can identify the source. Example, assume an industry discharging water into the rivers. We can easily identify that industry is the source for water pollution. Right? We can also identify which industry is polluting what. For example, if we say that if we take Ganga river, tanneries in the Kanpur are one of the reason for Ganga water pollution. Right? Tanneries in Kanpur. So in this way we can identify. They are called point sources. We can point out what is the source. Other sources are non-point sources. Non-point sources means we cannot identify a single source. Right? We cannot identify the source of pollution. Assume a huge flood has happened and the entire storm water is draining into the sea. Now, can we find the point source for this? Can we say whose water belongs to what in that storm water drainage? No, right? So these are called non-point sources. Agricultural runoff, you might have come across this term, right? Agricultural runoff. Agricultural runoff means the entire water washing away the soil, the fertilizers, chemicals, animal wastes, agricultural residue waste, everything getting washed away by water. That is also a non-point source. That is also a non-point source, right? So point source is we cannot identify the source. Point source is we can identify the source very easily. Some examples for these are municipal drainages, industrial drainages, right? These are point sources. What are non-point sources? Acid rain. Acid rain is a non-point source, right? Can we pinpoint one particular source, or can we say only because of this area acid rain is happening? No, right? Because nitrogen oxides and sulfur oxides released in one place, they will go to the air and they will cause acid rain in another part of the world, right? So this can happen. So non-point sources, we cannot identify the sources very easily. Acid rain is one example, agricultural runoff is one example, and storm water drainage. These are all the examples for non-point sources. So this is also an important term. And the next topic is inner line permit. Inner line permit. We have discussed this couple of times, right? What is this inner line permit? This is a permission or a travel document that is given for Indians who want to enter ILP protected states, right? If anyone wants to enter Arunachal Pradesh, right? If anyone wants to enter Nagaland, right? If anyone wants to enter Mizoram and Manipur, these 4 states, then they have to take ILP. ILP is for Indians. ILP is for permission to Indians. For foreigners, we have another permit called PAP, Protected Area Permit. For foreigners, we have another permit called Protected Area Permit or Reserved Area Permit, right? PAP or RAP. So that is for foreigners. ILP is for Indians. What is this? This is the travel document allowing a particular Indian to stay in these states for a particular period of time. What are the states which have this ILP? Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur and Mizoram. Manipur was the state which recently got this ILP status on January 1st, 2020. Now, who issues this ILP? Is it Ministry of Home Affairs? No, it is the respective state government which issues this ILP. It is the respective state government which issues this ILP. It is the respective state government which issues this ILP. This ILP was in the news because of Citizenship Amendment Act. Citizenship Amendment Act. Citizenship Amendment Act is giving exemption for 6 scheduled areas and ILP protected areas. We have discussed this, right? Please revise that. And what about NRIs? Do they need to take ILPs or PAPs? they need to take PAP, not ILP. All the NRIs, all the person of Indian origin and the overseas citizens of India, these three sections of population have to take RAP or PAP, not ILP. This is one area where they can test us, guys. And the last topic for today is biological oxygen demand and chemical oxygen demand. What is biological oxygen demand? What is chemical oxygen demand? This is an environment topic, guys. Yeah. So biological oxygen demand, we all know what is it? The amount of oxygen that is required by the microorganisms in a river to decompose the organic waste, right? BOD, biological oxygen demand, is nothing but the amount of oxygen that is required for the microorganisms to decompose the organic waste in the rivers, right? This is biological oxygen demand. This is used to measure the levels of pollution in the water. To measure the levels of pollution in the water. If the biological oxygen demand is more, then it implies the water body is more polluted, right? If the biological oxygen demand is more, that implies the water body is more polluted. If the biological oxygen demand is less, that implies less organic waste is there in the water body. So this is about BOD. Now what is COD? Chemical oxygen demand. Chemical oxygen demand is amount of oxygen that is required by the microorganisms to decompose not only organic waste but also inorganic waste. Not only organic but also inorganic. That is chemical oxygen demand. Right? That is chemical oxygen demand. So biological oxygen demand calculates amount of oxygen that is required to degrade biodegradable waste, that is organic waste, whereas chemical oxygen demand deals with both organic and inorganic, that is both biodegradable and biodegradable. And obviously, which should be more? Chemical oxygen demand should be always more than biological oxygen demand, right? Chemical oxygen demand should always be more than biological oxygen, because chemical oxygen demand takes care of both organic and inorganic, whereas BOD, biological oxygen demand, takes care of only organic.